This week, the last big game coming out for Mario's 35th anniversary was released, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury for the Nintendo Switch. I got my copy on the day of release, and so far I've had a ton of fun with it, especially since I don't have the original game. I love how much was added to the game, the biggest being the Bowser's Fury mode, which I've also had a lot of fun with. But, is the game worth it to buy, even if you own the original game on the Wii U? In this video, I'm going to be going over my thoughts of the Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury game, and hopefully answering this question. Before we get started, I'd like to mention that I streamed a bit of Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury on Friday, and I'm planning on streaming it more in the near future. So be sure to subscribe with notifications on, so you never miss another live stream or video. Now that that's out of the way, let's get started with the review. The gameplay for Super Mario 3D World is mostly the same as it was in the original game, as you'd expect, with some small changes and graphics updates. The controls are about what you'd expect: B or A to jump, Y to attack, hold, or run, left stick to move, right stick to look around, and ZR to ground pound. The controls work really well, since they are pretty much the same controls as all the other Mario games on the Switch. The game itself is really fun, of course, but very similar to the original game. Some of the small changes added are that when you collect a green star, it saves, even if you die after collecting it. Although this makes green stars a lot easier to get, I'm not a big fan of this change, since there are some green stars that are hard to get because you could die, but now even if you die after collecting a green star, you still keep it and essentially avoid the challenge. I know this is just nitpicking, and I think a lot of people will actually like this change. There's also now a snapshot mode like in Super Mario Odyssey, which is pretty cool because it gives you a use for the stamps you collect in the game. Now, if this was the only mode in the game, I wouldn't recommend buying it for people who already have the original game on the Wii U. I would like it better if they maybe added some more items or some new courses. However, now we're about to get into the really cool new features. Now, although the single player mode hasn't changed much, the multiplayer mode definitely has. Along with the single system online play returning from the Wii U version, there are now multi-system local and online play modes. I tried out Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury online mode a bit on stream, and from my experience, it is usually smooth, although there was one point where our game started lagging a lot and eventually disconnected us, which was annoying. I love
Well,
lag.
that broke the game.
Alright, look, zooming in officially breaks the game. Wait, you left? Wait, it says you left. Are you still there?
I'm still here.
No. At least it's not as laggy as Super Mario Maker 2, but that does bring up another point, and that's that you can only play online with friends. Often, your friends or family might not be able to play with you, so you want to play online with random people from around the world. This isn't actually available in Super Mario 3D World, which is a bit disappointing. I do have some hope that it could be added in a future update. Other than that, I'm really glad that we got online at all, so Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury is really good so far. However, even if this was the only new thing in the game, I probably wouldn't recommend it for someone who has the original game on the Wii U, because there just isn't enough new features yet. Now, I know I keep saying this, but now we're going to get into the really big new mode in the game, Bowser's Fury. Bowser's Fury is the big selling point for Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury on the Switch, and I'm happy to say that it isn't some small new world or something like that. It's a whole separate mode with gameplay that is much different than the normal game. It feels a lot like Super Mario Odyssey, which is actually kind of funny, because if you have watched my predictions video for 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, you'll know that I predicted this exact thing, even with the cat shine shards. So, these cat shines, another reference to Super Mario Sunshine, are really interesting. Apparently, these are put all over the kingdom, like the green stars in the normal mode, but from the screen earlier, it looks like these act similar to stars, shines, or moons in Super Mario 64, Sunshine, Galaxy, or Odyssey. This would mean this mode would act like normal 3D Mario games, essentially a mini version of that. This would also support my earlier prediction that Bowser's Fury is made up of giant levels or a couple giant levels. This also makes sense, since it didn't look like there are any gold poles in this mode. If all of these things are true, this is really exciting because we're essentially getting a small new 3D Mario game on the Switch. Maybe this was kind of obvious from the trailer, but I'm proud of myself anyway. Basically, Bowser's Fury is one big map, which has different areas you can unlock by beating Bowser, which I'll get to later. This part of it reminds me a bit of Breath of the Wild, where you can unlock different parts of the world map over time. The gameplay involves you completing challenges and avoiding enemies to collect cat shines, which are very similar to moons in Super Mario Odyssey. Now, I haven't come close to getting all of the 100 cat shines so far, but I can tell you that this is a really fun mode from what I've played. Like I mentioned earlier, there are also cat shine shards, which you have to collect 5 of to get a real cat shine. I can tell Nintendo worked really hard on this mode, because we're essentially getting a mini 3D Mario game inside of a 3D Mario game. Kind of like a mini Super Mario Odyssey 2 even. In Bowser's Fury, you get to team up with Bowser Jr., who can help you defeat enemies and stuff like that. You can actually control how much he helps you, whether it's a lot, a little, or nothing. Now, a mode called Bowser's Fury wouldn't be complete without, well, Bowser. Every once in a while, the world will turn dark and Bowser will appear, shooting fireballs and rocks at you. During this period of time, you can collect the Giga Bell item, if you have enough cat shines, to attack Bowser. Once you've defeated him, or after a certain amount of time, Bowser will go away and the world will return to its lighter state. I think it's a really cool idea to have the world change like this, because it keeps you on your toes and allows for some really creative level design. You can also play 2-player co-op in Bowser's Fury, where one player plays as Bowser Jr. I haven't tried this out, but from what I've heard and what I can infer, it wouldn't be all that fun for the second player, since Bowser Jr. doesn't do that much. For me, this doesn't take away from the mode overall, which I think single-handedly makes this game worth it to buy, even if you own the original game on the Wii U. So overall, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury is a great game. Even though not much has changed in the original game mode, the online multiplayer, Bowser's Fury, and the other small changes that were made are great. In my opinion, it is definitely worth it to buy this game. I'm going to give 3D World plus Bowser's Fury a 4-star out of 5 rating, since it's a really fun game, but I do wish some more was changed in the original 3D World mode. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my review. If you agreed with me, be sure to subscribe and give this video a like, and even if you didn't agree with my review, be sure to leave a comment telling me what you thought. It's a little disappointing that the Super Mario 35th anniversary event is just about over, but I'm glad this happened at all, and I'm going to keep releasing videos reacting to new Nintendo games and speculating about what could come next for Nintendo. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!